If you only knew the power of the dark side. Impressive. Don't make me destroy you. If you only knew the power like a dark side.
Unfortunately, Nova is engaging upon me, but I'm just going to keep walking away like a boss. Hello everybody and welcome to the Daily Rotation. Today's video is going to be on the range support Malfurion. Malfurion is a very strong healer. I think he's one of the top healers in the game, and the thing that I really like about him, and this is true for a lot of the higher end support healers, is he has a lot of different builds and options and utility spells. So you can do a lot of things with him. He's very strong at healing, and he's just a very fun hero to play. I haven't played him a whole lot compared to other heroes, but I've played him enough to know that I enjoy playing as him. So let's go over his abilities real quick here, and then we can jump into a match. I did do a Malfurion video in the past, so if you want to check that out, that one I think was a really fun video as well, but this one we're going to have the Betrayer skin on. So this is a really cool skin. I kind of feel like it makes him look a little bit more like Illidan, and Illidan has a skin that makes him more look like Malfurion. So that's kind of a fun little thing I've noticed. His abilities are, his Q is Regrowth. It heals an ally or self over time. So it does actually do a heal right off the bat and then adds a heal over time. It looks like it heals 40 health instantly and additional 100 health over 10 seconds. And that obviously scales with level as well. And then his W ability is Moonfire. Reveal and damages enemies in an area. It's really fun to pop stealthers out with Moonfire. It does look like it only does damage on a very small area, but it actually does it in a larger area that you just can't see. So if there's 3 enemies that are standing next to each other and you throw it down to the one in the middle, you're going to hit all 3 of them. And if there's a stealth one nearby, it's also going to reveal them. I really love using Moonfire. It's a really fun ability. I've tried building with it a few times, but I just more like the basic ability of it. His E ability is Entangling Roots. Root and damages enemies in an area. It can be a little difficult to get the roots to land because it takes a few seconds for them to go into effect, but you can use it to basically zone people, and a lot of times it'll bait them into walking into your roots. So this is a very strong ability. You just need to kind of get used to being able to land it. I think some people have a very hard time with it, but it just takes a little bit of getting used to, and it's not too bad to land. And then his trait is Innervate. Activate to temporarily increase an ally's mana regeneration. So it basically is a heal for mana, and then it also gives mana over time. It is, I think, the only ability in the game that grants mana directly. Well, I guess there are some other specs that might do it, but this one directly applies mana from the beginning of the game. A lot of Malfurion players seem to forget to use this, and it's very important to use it as much as you can. Obviously, you don't need to use it on someone with full mana, but it's a very good ability. I would suggest as much as you can use this. Your allies will love you forever and ever. And now, for his 2 heroics, he has 2 very good heroics. If you're the only support on the team, I would strongly suggest going with Tranquility, or if you're the support that's expected to do most of the healing, this is an awesome healing ultimate. It heals all allies in a large radius over time. You can also cast all of your abilities and move while this is going. So it's a very strong, large AoE heal that you can continue to use your other abilities, unlike Lily, where you can only run around and heal people. His other heroic is very strong, silences and damages all nearby enemies for 3 seconds. I've been in a lot of matches with Malfurion where I'm teamed up with a Lily, and the Lily takes her other ultimate, her non-healing heroic ability, and I feel like his is much stronger in most situations. I think this is better than Bloodlust. I think it's better than 1,000 Jugs of whatever. So if you're the second support, maybe communicate with your team and just say, hey, can I pick up the silence? I mean, it is super strong and super good, but I just don't think it's good enough to take over Tranquility if you're the only support. It's my personal opinion. I don't know. I mean, I guess you can do whatever you want, though. He certainly has strong healing even without his heroic. So we'll jump into a match and we'll see how we can do today.
Balloon, grant us strength.
Alright, it looks like today we will be on the Sky Temple. The home team sporting Nova, Murky, Vala, Furion, and Sylvanas. The enemy team, slightly more balanced, is going to have a Jaina, Tyrael, Sylvanas, Rhaegar, and Nova. But, you know, I'm not too upset about the team composition, in all honesty. So for my level 1 talent, I will be picking up the Conjurer's Pursuit. You gather regeneration orbs to increase your mana regeneration. And as long as you're gathering the regeneration orbs as much as you can, it really does make a big difference on your mana in your mana storage, because you can run out of mana pretty easily on Malfurion, especially if you're healing people up all the time. We're going to throw out the roots there. It looks like the friendly Sylvanas is going to engage. That can't be the real Nova. I was going to say, it just didn't seem right to me. Down in the bottom lane, Sylvanas and Murky are going to be going head-to-head, whereas Vala and I appear to be going out here. Well, that was some poor root placement. Yeah. But yeah, it got most of them. And in the middle lane, Sylvanas and Nova are engaging on the enemy Jaina. Are they going to capitalize? I better pay attention to what's going on up here. It doesn't look like they were able to capitalize on that kill, so that's unfortunate. But at least we're showing the enemy team who's boss. That is what's important here. We'll come back here. We'll just throw our roots in a spot where Tyrael will be unable to really move for a moment. And it looks like somebody took away our vision. That was very rude of them. So we'll come down here. Look at that little spider. He's kind of cool. A little spider. We'll take the vision back here since the lane is just starting to push back. And then we'll come up here. Looks like the lane is still pushing back, but we came here in time for the regen orb. I think the top might not be a bad spot to hold this shrine down, as it seems like we pushed the lane back quite a bit here, and I don't know if Nova is trying to be rude, or if it maybe not. Maybe they were helping each other. I don't know. I just got done with a game with some really toxic people who declared the game over at level 7. And it was really funny because they spent the first half of the game raging about how things were so terrible and how I was the worst player ever for laning. For goodness sake, why would you want to lane at level 4 and 5? So they freak out about it. We pretty much get destroyed, and then once they stop talking is when we actually started to come back. We did not win the game, but I mean, we were in a position where we could have, and that just goes to show you that freaking out on your team is never going to gain a win. I've never been in a match where somebody's freaking out and you still win the match, especially with multiple people. We have already drained that top temple of its shots. It looks like that middle one is pretty much gone, so there's no reason to contest. There's no reason. Ball is going to be picking that up, but unfortunately, that's not the real Nova. But that's the real Sylvanas. We know that. We are going to engage on her a little bit here. Heal up myself, unfortunately. I wanted to heal up Vala, but that didn't work out. So we are level 5 here. I usually pick up the roots spawn a tree trent. I think I am going to go with that. I really like Healing Ward, though. It is really great, but Malfurion's a pretty darn strong healer without it. And the thing that works really well about the tree trent is it can tank stuff for you. So if you're trying to grab a boss, I mean, we don't have a melee warrior on our team right now, so anything that can help take damage off of the heroes, even if it's just minion damage. Let's see, that should be the real Nova right there. We're going to engage on her, heal up Vala, make sure that she isn't going to fall, but with Tyrael on her case, she could be in a lot of trouble. Let's try to stick with her here. We'll lay that down. I'm too far away to give her the heal. Did she fell? But we are able to take down the enemy Tyrael. He's going to blow me up with his bomb, but I'm not too concerned about it. I am concerned about that Rhaegar. Now let's heal ourselves up. Is that the real Nova? Is that the real Nova? We are able to take down the real Nova, and I think we're going to be able to get out of there with our life. So 2 for 1, that's not too bad. Thank you. I mean, it's so nice to have people like complimenting and talking, encouraging to each other for a change. We are level 7 here, so let's come down in here. I'm going to be picking up Entangling Roots, deal more damage. It's kind of a rootsy type of build. The enemy Rhaegar is on the run. I don't think I'm going to be able to catch up with him. Yes! Yes, we are able to catch up to him and get that kill. So very nice work by the friendly team. Nova and Vala certainly on key on picking up when they can get kills. I still haven't used my trait yet. I hope I didn't miss an opportunity to use my trait. I'm going to start heading down to the bottom lane here, make my way to that temple, and let the friendly team know I am on my way to that temple. Oh, boo. Boo. We'll heal ourselves up. It looks like there's someone we can use our trait on. Sylvanas could use some mana. So Malfurion has a really awesome trait. We did just lose the friendly Nova, which is going to make things tough. But hopefully Murky will help us pick up this temple here. I think it's important that we win this over, especially when you just got Sylvanas up there. We are going to engage on her. I just got pelted by that NPC there. He really got me good. I'm going to come here and try to continue to take as many shots as I can. Although we need to heal up the friendly Vala. She is going to fall. We're going to throw out those roots, and then we're going to try to back off. Throw that down. We don't have any mana, but it looks like we will be able to survive. We're just not going to make it. That's okay. We got a couple of shots off the temple, so, you know, that's something. Sylvanas is up here in the middle lane pushing pretty hard, so I don't know if she's going to do as much damage as this thing is going to do. Possibly. Possibly. Maybe not. Let's see. I mean, we took several shots out of it, so I'm not really going to complain about her pushing that down. I think she's actually doing a pretty good job. Early on in the game, the temples don't do as much damage as they do later in the game. Her pushing this down, unfortunately, isn't able to push it down hard enough to take it out, but that's okay. She did a pretty good job. Pretty good job, in all honesty. I'm going to be picking up Tranquility. It's a really awesome AoE heal that does a ton of healing. I mean, a ton of healing. And you can cast your abilities while using it. So, looks like a little spiff is going down just below me, so maybe I should come check that out. We can try to do some body blocking on Rhaegar. We don't trap him in the roots, unfortunately, but we are scaring him away. Bye, Rhaegar. Bye, Rhaegar. And he is going to fall. And now Jaina coming out. We're going to pop our healing ultimate, heal up the friendly Nova, and try to keep everybody alive. Come here, Nova. Come here. Yeah, don't worry, girl. I got you. I got you. I'll even give you some mana. Give you some of your mana back. How does that sound? So right now we have taken down that middle fort. That's really why I wasn't too concerned with Sylvanas deciding to push versus help us out with the early game temple. I don't think that was the worst decision. Did want to heal myself in that situation, so we could be in a lot of trouble right here. I don't think there's much I can do. Nope, she is going to fall. No, she's not. We did heal her, but it wasn't enough. So sorry. Let's throw out the roots to try to dissuade them from pursuing me any further, and we'll come back and take a drink from the well. At least I got the heal off on Vala. I feel like I tried. I did all that I could do, you know. Let's pick up that regen orb. As I said, we need to collect as many of those as we can. Right now, we got 3 stacks of Conjurer's Pursuit, which isn't too bad. The enemy Jaina just walking right past our Nova player. We're going to engage a little bit, but not too far. We can heal her up. Down in the bottom lane, Sylvanas certainly very low on health, so that's a little scary. I don't know. I mean, top or bottom, try to do both for a little while. This is a good question. Level 13, this is an easy choice for me every time. I'm going to be picking up Shrink Ray. It is just such a powerful ability. It reduces their damage by 50%, and it also casts a slow on them, which does a 50%. It's a 50% slow, so it is a massive slow. We were able to capture a few shots out of there, not too many, and we are going to get bullied around by this NPC here. Now what we can do is drop the Tree Trent, which should bring a little bit of the pressure off of me. So this is where the Tree Trent comes into play. It's really a PvE type of situation. It does attack heroes, so I mean, it's not that it's completely useless against heroes, but it's mostly in these situations where you just don't want these things attacking you. Which is actually a pretty big deal. If we were defending this against the enemy team, the Tree Trent would be taking the damage instead of us. Normally it's hard to defend these. The enemy Jaina is starting to come in, but we have secured all the shots from the temple, so once again we come out on top. Certainly not a bad play. Nova is engaging on the enemy Jaina. They're calling for help against the enemy Sylvanas, but she is going to fall. I'm going to let them know I'm on my way. I'm on my way. Let's Shrink Ray her. We don't want to step into that, but I think the Shrink Ray will be enough to make sure we get that kill. As you can see, I mean, it is awesome for securing kills. I wonder if we could grab this Bruiser Camp. Is anybody who's good at grabbing Bruiser Camps? Vala's good at grabbing Bruiser Camps. So we're gonna drop the Tree Trent right down here. I'm gonna use the Moonfire on these 3 guys. The Mage I like killing first, but my Moonfire does damage to targets near it, so it's smarter to use it on the group of enemies rather than that weak Mage by himself. Vala and I are able to pick that up pretty easily. Unfortunately, we lose Sylvanas. Nova's here being pursued upon. I mean, if Sylvanas wants to engage, if she wants to rumble with us, we can certainly do that and punish her for it, as we just did. So when you're in a position like that, we were overextending when we were near their base. But if they follow you outside of your base, you're no longer overextending, and it's really okay to engage as long as you feel like you're in a good situation to take on X amount of heroes. But when you're by their base, that's usually what's considered overextending. The enemy Jaina coming in, dropping her wave down. I want that Conjurer's Pursuit regen orb, though, and I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it. Let's see if we can pick up this bruiser camp here, continue the pressure on the enemy team. I'm going to be picking up my level 16 talent, which I really like. Moonfire slows targets. Otherwise, entangling roots isn't too bad. It increases your roots, but I like slowing targets. That just sounds like a great ability all the way around, and we do secure that quite easily. Perhaps we could come down and pick up this camp down here. No, never mind. The temples are spawning, so we're all going to head up here. There is only one temple, so this is a situation where we want to hunker down and defend this area as best as possible. The bruisers are going to help because the enemy team is going to have to go deal with them. Nova, you're in a lot of trouble, girl. You're in a lot of trouble, girl. Is that you? Okay, I'm in a lot of trouble. I need to get out of here. I need to get out of here. Now, let's see. We can shrink ray the enemy Tyrael, so he's not going to be able to do much damage. We did get silenced, and we are about to get bombed into death. Dang it. We couldn't heal ourselves as we were silenced. So, what went wrong there is that we had people spread out. We didn't all run to hunker down on this temple, which is a problem. But the enemy team did ignore our main... Yep. Yep. So, Sylvanas' heroic ability silences, pretty much, it's an AoE silence, which Malfurion also has an AoE silence as his heroic. That's something I could note. Twilight Dream, silence and damage nearby enemies. It's a very strong ability, but since I am the only healer,
We should capture this mercenary camp.
I think we should be picking up these camps as we're not going to be able to contest this at all. Now, if I was alive and Vala was alive, we could have easily picked up the boss. But since we had several heroes down, now Nova falling. But we do have most of the people up. I'm going to let them know I'm going to come pick this up. I don't think the boss is going to be a good idea after grabbing these camps, as the enemy team is going to be well aware what's going on here.
The wild.
We should start sticking together now. Now that it's late game, I mean, you definitely don't want to be splitting up on this map. We'll finish grabbing this camp here. We did lose Sylvanas because she was overextending quite a bit. I got the temple right about meow. 2 top here, 2 top there. I'm not exactly sure what that means because the temple's not alive. But I am going to go group up with Vala and Murky. They're the only 2 other people alive. And they are going to secure the kill on the enemy Tyrael. So nice job. There we go. There we go. We're all good. We're all winners here. We're doing very well. So is the enemy team, though. Both bases are down to their keeps. And well, we really just need to stick together right now. I'm going to head on up here. Unfortunately, Nova is engaging upon me, but I'm just going to keep walking away like a boss. Malfurion ain't got time for that. He ain't got time for that. The enemy Sylvanas is going to fall, and I'm going to get our girl Vala healed up there a little bit. And then mount up and head on. Why are we going here, by the way? Oh, she's just going to stop at the healing fountain. Certainly not a bad decision. We just need to kind of group up, which we are doing right now. Boswell 2 are down. I mean, we could easily pick this up real quick if we're quick. If we're quick, we'll drop high risk, high rewards. That's what I like to say. We're going to have to do it real fast, though. And now the temples are spawning, so I think this was actually going to work out pretty well. The enemy team is certainly going to be thinking more about those, although I think Tyrael realizes that we're here. So let's all get in here. We are going to secure that boss. They weren't able. Let's just take this bottom temple now, because they're going to have to deal with that boss. And we should be able to grab this just fine. I mean, we might even... We could... Uh-oh. What's going on up here? What's going on up here? Nova's being engaged upon. Get up there, get a heal out for her. Let's pop out the healing ultimate. I want her to stay alive, I really do. We're going to Shrink Ray Jaina. She is going to get in the ice block. We're going to heal up our friend Vala, and we're going to take down the enemy Jaina, and hopefully take... Oh no, we're silenced. Oh no, we do get the heal off on her. And looks like the enemy Sylvanas is locked in the Octo Grab, so let's come down in here and pick off this guy. Oh, looks like we have Rhaegar. Uh-oh, let's drop the roots before we die so that they do something maybe. Oh my gosh. Looks like that was just a clone, so that wasn't the right target by any means. Nova versus Tyrael. Just get mid maybe. Okay, Sylvanas. Sylvanas will be able to pick up that middle temple because the enemy team just doesn't have enough people to contest both of them. They didn't decide to go against the bot, so we are breaking through in the bottom lane here. This is going excellent. We now have both temples. Great coordination on the friendly team here. We definitely took a risk grabbing the boss, but honestly, it was the perfect time to grab that boss. And now we are level 20, and we have lots of good options to pick up for Furion. I'm sure you could probably set up some cool things with Rewind. I've never picked it up. Bolt of the Storm doesn't seem necessary on him. Storm Shield is very good, and increased healing with your heroic Serenity is great. The benefit is this is gonna Sylvanas. She's almost dead. She's not in a position to help you, Murky. I'm very sorry. But now that I can come over here and heal her, she might be. The thing about Storm Shield is you can pop Storm Shield and your Heroic if you pick that up. If you pick up Serenity, you're going to get increased healing. You're going to get just a better Heroic. I'm going to go with Storm Shield. I think that's going to give us more survivability in team fights. Just in case my Heroic is down. We did lose the rest of that temple, and I walked right into that. But I think... No! 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 Oh, man. Oh, unfortunately, Vala was just out of my reach, but the enemy Sylvanas, she's not out of my reach. She's not. I am going to die, though. I'm going to try to heal myself up, cast out the healing ultimate, and it's just not enough as the enemy Jaina came in there. Hopefully, Nova can just snipe her down real fast. Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can. But you are probably going to be in a world of hurt against that Jaina, perhaps, although she's really confused. Okay, but now she's no longer confused. She's now engaging real hard on Nova, and we are going to lose her, unfortunately. Thankfully, Murky and Sylvanas are both alive, and it looks like they're going to be able to pick up this camp. Murky, you could help her. Murky, there you go. You could help her. There you go. But now the enemy Nova is engaging with the precision strike. She pretty much just took out that camp. Murky, grab it. Grab it, Murky. Grab it, grab it. Good job. Good job, Murky. And Sylvanas is actually going to get away. Nice job. That was good. That was good, good, good. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Murky, get out of there, buddy. So right now we could just be picking off this camp with Rhaegar and then go grab the bruisers right afterwards. I think that would be the best situation. Vala hopefully doesn't have to extend too far. It looks like she's just going to annihilate that Rhaegar player. That Hungering Arrow of Vala does so much damage. It is incredibly strong. Now that we're all together, I'm feeling a little more confident. As you can see, I don't have my Heroic up, but I do still have the Storm Shield up, and it's a very good shield. It really is. Now let's throw our Entangling Roots down because that's going to distract those guys a little bit. Sylvanas is not with the group right now, and that's a little scary. It's a little scary. She is going to pretty much get destroyed from by the looks of it here. Unfortunately, she didn't want to take Vala's advice. She got a little greedy and wanted to take two of these. In our position, we just absolutely do not need to take two of them. One is plenty. You know, we're ahead in the match right now. We just need to make sure and stay ahead. That's the key. The enemy team now engaging. This is going to cause a lot of problems. I'm going to try to heal myself up, cast the Storm Shield, cast everything, but I was silenced, so that's why nothing was working. Murky is able to finish off the enemy Nova. Really just need to all stick together. I mean, we're ahead of the game. There's no reason to be going for these crazy plays of trying to grab both shrines. The only time that I really think that it's ever an okay idea to try to grab both of the shrines, or both of the temples, I should say, is when your team is just mega dominating. And if we take a look here, we're actually down 5 kills. The enemy team is doing a lot better team fight-wise. And I say team fight loosely, because they're not really team fights that they're winning. It's more outnumbered, catching our people when they're out doing things that they shouldn't be doing. And that's what's a little concerning at this point. At the beginning of the match when I said, Sylvanas, she's pushing that lane, it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal in the early game when she can out-damage those temples. But when she starts doing things on her own at level 22, level 23... that's when we have problems. And right now, we just gave up both of those temples and put ourselves in the situation that I said we can't put ourselves in. Murky going balls deep on the core. He's not too concerned about Murky, but it certainly would be nice to have him next to us. The boss probably isn't the best play right now, although the whole enemy team is over there, so we could probably do this. Nope. Okay, so Nova's up here, so that wasn't a very good play, I guess. And now the enemy team is going to start coming out of their hole. Wow, lots of ultimates coming out, but we are able to take down... What the... Oh, my gosh. Oh, why didn't you heal her? We're going to cast Storm Shield to make sure that she is not going to die. And we're going to shrink Ray Tyrael, but now we need to just bail. We really need to bail, I guess. Sylvanas is here, and she's taking a ton of heat. She's taking a ton of heat. Let's see, we're going to be able to get off a heal on Nova. And let's throw down our roots here. It looks like Nova is going to be able to take down the enemy Sylvanas, so we're doing really good right now. Tyrael's thinking, maybe I shouldn't stick around anymore. Maybe I shouldn't stick around anymore. We're going to have to mount up to try to pursue him, but I don't think it's going to be worth it. Yeah, I just don't think it's going to be worth it. It's not worth it. Rhaegar's right around the corner there. We really need to kind of step back and think, as Sylvanas and both Vala are dead. Of course, 2 members of the enemy team are dead as well.
So it shall be.
Yeah, I think this is gonna win the game. I think this should win with 1. So, Vala's coming down here at the bottom. Nova is out there. I think this should be a good game as long as we can just hold down this one fort. Murky is up here. I don't quite understand. He's doing a fine job overall, but why he isn't closer with the team at important moments like this, I'm not sure. But maybe he's going to try to steal a couple shots off that temple to make sure we get enough. That looks like that's what he's going to do. So, I was going to say, he seems like he's doing just fine. That Murky player is doing a great job. As far as I can tell, I think the whole team has been doing a really good job overall. It's been a very good game. The enemy Tyrael is coming in, and he's going to wish he didn't. He's going to wish he didn't. Let's all spread out into different directions so he can't hit anybody with that bomb. And look at that. Murky. Good game, everybody. Good game. So that was a really fun match, I thought. I mean, it definitely was competitive. The enemy team really started to catch back up due to some of our mistakes, and the reason we were able to win was capitalizing on the enemy's mistakes. Although, in all honesty, I didn't feel like they made a whole lot at first glance. I think our team just was working very well together. It's nice to see people just complimenting each other, saying, good job. I mean, toxic players, just they pretty much never result in wins, and it's unfortunate. Occasionally you can have one bad apple and still pull the game through, but a lot of times having somebody constantly raging on your team is it's a pretty bad start to the game. So it was very nice to see some nice plays. We could take a look here. Our healing was top, so we out-healed the enemy Rhaegar, and we actually did way more damage than him. That's surprising. This isn't a lot of damage for Malfurion, to be honest. I've had games where he does a lot more damage, but I was focusing a lot more on just doing the right things in the team. Sometimes it doesn't really matter what your stats are. You obviously don't want bad stats. I mean, 18-4 isn't bad, but it's not always necessarily about being the top of something. As long as you're making the right calls and you're doing a good contribution, you know, you're not at the bottom, you're not underperforming, it's usually a good sign. I think that was a really fun Malfurion game. I hopefully showcased him well enough for you guys to see how he's played. I think he has a lot of different viable builds. I've never looked up a Malfurion build. I generally don't even look up most builds. And with Malfurion, I just kind of play him, and I just pick talents because he has so many good ones. So you can definitely use the talents that I use. I think they work very well. I use them a lot. Otherwise, he's got lots of other good options that you can use. It depends on who you're playing with, what kind of map you're on, and what so forth. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. I look forward to talking to you all again next time.